Welcome back. And today we're going to be discussing and showing you how to wash a car in direct sunlight. And what better way to showcase this is a black car in direct sunlight. A lot of people avoid it and wait for the sun to go in, but on a Saturday morning, you've been kicked out in the morning because the kids are kicking off, the dog's barking at the neighbours, the car needs it clean, you haven't done anything all morning. You're thinking, right, I want to get this done. So I'm going to break it down and just give you a couple of key tips in aiding you to washing your car safely and not making 10 times the work with all the smears and the streaks and all the hard work part that comes with cleaning a car in the sunlight. Let's get cracking and get it washed up. First tip so far is to remember to rinse away the chemical as soon as you've finished agitating. So gone are the days of being able to spray everything in one motion and rinse down in one motion, because by the time you get back round to the beginning of the car, the product has already gassed off, it's already dried in, and it's all ready to be re-washed to get rid of it. So we don't want to be running around in circles making 10 times the work for ourselves. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. I'm faced with a lot of different choices these days. Do a rock and roll, next account a blue face. Second tip is keep everything wet. Don't allow it to dry too soon. And if you're a little bit skeptical, soak it again, soak it again, soak it again. This will just ease the drying process to make sure no chemicals have laid on the surface for too long, because right now that panel in direct sunlight is roasting hot. It could be 100 degrees. I'm not gonna get my thermometer out, and it's gonna literally annihilate any water, product, chemical that lands on it and instantly evaporate it. So keep it wet and you won't run into that issue. Tip number 3, snow foam. Designed to dwell and be a thick, clumpy, foamy mess, which then you can use this as a blanket over the top of the chemical to prevent it from drying out too soon. This gives extended dwelling time and working time, so you don't have to rush around being scared that it's going to evaporate in 10 seconds. You gotta pay the price. It's a life without sacrifice. Sometimes you gotta thank God and just roll the dice. Pacino. As you can see already, I've only cleaned the back rear wheel, and have a look at that panel there, that middle door, as to how almost bone dry it is in literally the split time it took to clean that one wheel. Pre-rinse to get rid of as much sand as possible. Very typical in this heat. Okay, now we're in the shade, we've got a little bit more work time. And as you notice, I'm only working with about half the car at a time. Any more, then you're going to be in dangerous territory of chemicals evaporating too long. And if you've got the wrong chemical on the paintwork, bosh, you're going to be into some issues. So save yourself mild anxiety by washing your car by working section by section by section. I can't believe we're actually recording a video about the sunlight in the UK. It's quite contradictory really, isn't it? If you said 2 months ago you're going to be making a video about washing your car in the sun, I tell you to jog on. Yeah, I'm not going to be as chilled when you're in the sunlight. Panic, rinse, foam, rinse, rinse, rinse. And when we get around to the other side, we're just going to have the key word rinse and keep it wet at the top of our head. The most weirdest thing I've ever said. Another interesting point is, when do we actually do the roof? Now, backwardsly, I do the roof at the end because it's the hottest panel and I can guarantee keeping the wetness consistent. But normally I do it at the beginning, naturally, because we've got some, you know, don't have to worry about it evaporating too quick. So yes, it's kind of backwards that we're going to clean the bottom half of the car and then the roof, which isn't generally that dirty unless it's a caravan. We're then going to get the car wet again once we've done the roof. So there is method in the madness, and hopefully the results speak for themselves at the end of this wash. Now this is like a pit stop crew. Drop, grab the citrus spray, snow foam on top, leave it. It's drying on already, Jesus. Look at it starting to streak there already. My word. Now we can relax to a degree. Now we rinse. Now we contact wash. Luckily, we got a good quality shampoo, so the soap suds are really gonna help us out today. Cool, I can feel the heat warming this mitt up. Okay, thank the Lord for a good quality shampoo. Say that again. Oh, it's starting to dry on already. Keep it wet, keep it wet. Quite edgy, this car, in like more ways than one, physically and design-wise. See what I did there? Now this time of year, it can be quite prominent for flies being splashed on the front. So I'm gonna lather up the front with citrus, leave the snow foam on there for a couple of minutes, and then figure out how we're gonna remove the bug splats. A little bit of a tradie tip, I don't recommend it to your DIYer, is using a little bit of wheel cleaner, obviously not in direct sunlight, as long as you've got some snow foam at the top. Wheel cleaner, I need some sort of chemist to tell me the exact ingredients, manages to pull the fly squats off cleanly without leaving any etchings behind. I don't know why, I like to call it magic. It works, it doesn't damage the paint and it doesn't damage the plastics as long as you use it in the shade with a bit of snow foam over the top. Check it out, see if we've got any flies. For hard to reach areas like the centre of roofs, I like to use a wheel brush inside my wash mitt. Saw it here first. That way, when the customer looks out the window, it doesn't look like you've done half a job. Leave that as a marker as to where we've been. Handy tip when spraying chemicals in the direct sunlight is the panels that are in the direct sunlight, apply the chemical to the cloth and massage in and use as thoroughly as you can before it dries out. But in the shade, you're completely fine to spray it as normally. But the one thing with spraying it free rein is that the overspray will land on various parts of the car and could essentially do some damage that you have to re-wash the panel off. So I can leave that side on to dwell. I think this may be the final tip of the day. When coming to dry your car, it's handy to take the nozzle at the end of your pressure washer hose and rinse the majority of the water beads before drying. This makes it super easy for the towel to pick up the last of the water, making your drying game really nice and simple. Doesn't have to be bone dry, and ideally you want to do it really slowly and make a cinematic film out of it, but we haven't got time for that because I got dinner to get back to. Okay, now hopefully I can practice what I preach, we should have very, very minimal water spotting from keeping the car all nice and wet through the whole process. And using just a bit of quick detailer just aids the evaporation of the last little couple of watermarks that may slip through the net. Because we are only human, it's almost impossible, unless you're using purified water, i.e. the spotless water tanks, which isn't always cost effective, and unless you've got inline purification systems at your house address, which also isn't cheap, but some of you are very lucky to have that installed. It's almost impossible not to get a watermark. So with this in mind, we'll dry it down as best we can, get the blow dryer out for the finessing little edges, give it another quick detail around the edges to make sure all the water's picked up and it looks as glossy and smear free as possible. So here's the proof in the pudding. Can you wash a black car or van in the direct sunlight without any watermarks or smears? The answer is yes. Take a look.